Welcome back. The center of the wildfire situation in the region right now has to be Miramichi. We're joined by Mayor Adam Lordon. Appreciate your time, Mayor. I can appreciate how busy you are.
Thank you. Good evening, Todd.
Maybe we can start with the latest update from you.
Absolutely. So, of course, just a short time ago, the Premier provided a province-wide update, including some of the specifics on the conditions here on the ground, the Oldfield fire, as they're calling it, about 20 kilometers northeast of our community of Miramichi. So the fire has now grown to 450 hectares in size. It was 340 early yesterday. So that is unfortunately continuing to grow, continuing to be considered as uncontained at this time, although they did mention in the press conference that the growth is slowing and that while they don't yet have it under control, they are able to control the direction of the growth, which they are now doing in a strategic way to avoid any, housing or cottages or infrastructure. So I guess we'll take those little bits of good news, as we wait to, for some weather maybe to turn in our favor and get back into a controlled situation.
Yeah, no doubt. What's it like from where you're sitting? Can you, when you look out, can you see the plume from in town?
Well, I live in Chatham, across the river from the general area of the fire. We could see the plume a few days ago. It's now, I think, far enough away that we don't see the plume in a super visible way, but we do see and feel that haze in the air. And of course, in addition to the fire and contributing to the unfavorable conditions, it is scorching hot here today. One of the hottest days I think we've probably ever had. And so that is probably complicating things for them. And an ever-present reminder too, and certainly a concern as it relates to potential air quality as well. We've opened up cooling centers in the community for folks who need to get relief from the air quality and the temperatures outside there.
Yeah, in fact, Kaylin Mitchell is saying that with the Humidex, it's now feeling like 44 degrees in your city, and you've said that this is sort of new territory for you. You don't recall it ever being like this.
No, I mean, it of course gets hot and humid here as it does around the Maritimes, but this feels hotter than I can ever recall.
You're not on official evacuation alert, or folks in your community aren't, but is the city prepared if it does come to that?
Certainly, from the very beginning. In fact, it was the city of Miramichi's fire department crews who initially responded to when the fire broke out late last week. Of course, they've transferred primary responsibility now to the Department of Natural Resources, but our team, our chief and our fire department members are continuing to provide assistance and, of course, to be on standby to help. So, for example, they've been helping on the river, making sure that the waterways are clear of other recreational boaters for the water bombers to refill. And we're offering up space to provide overnight accommodations for firefighters that are visiting in the area. We're told there are over 60 from around the province and perhaps further away who are now working on the ground and in the air to help try to contain this. So we're in constant communication and also communicating. We're joining with the province, issuing multiple updates a day through our official social media channels, our website, and our Void Alert app. And we're encouraging all citizens to make sure that they are checking in and staying up to date so that if something changes and we do need to make those type of efforts to perhaps get ready to evacuate or eventually do so, that they'll be notified as soon as that is the case. But people are certainly vigilant and staying up to date. I know everywhere I go in town, people want to know what's going on, and so we're well informed and we're ready to do what we've got to do.
Do you have enough resources in terms of firefighting, I should say?
It seems as though they do, Todd. I mean, I guess you could probably always use more, but I think that's one of the important elements with those restrictions that have been put in place, asking people to stay out of the woods, for example. And we've added, layered on with the province in that regard. We have 3 different wooded trail systems around the city that we've closed temporarily to echo the province's moves in the same direction. And ultimately, we know that that is for safety and prevention. So we don't want any more fires breaking out around the province, because that will pull resources from those that they're actively working on now. So people have been very understanding in that regard to why these restrictions are in place and to abide by that. And, so that we ensure that there are as many resources in place as possible. And certainly we want to give our thanks to the men and women on the ground in our community and around the province who are doing the tough work.
I know you've heard, no doubt, some of the pushback from those individuals who don't like the bans. They think they go too far and the restrictions. It must make a difference when you can see all that in your backyard.
Well, we have not heard that here, and I think that's just it. When you can see the smoke and you appreciate how close it is, and it's your friends and neighbors who, who are at risk of potentially being impacted, I think you can understand why that's important. And I mean, these kind of things are in place to protect people and to protect our communities. So, I would ask people to have a little common sense in that regard and follow along, because it's important stuff to do everything we can to support those that are fighting these fires on our behalf.
The forecast suggests we could be into this kind of weather for weeks to come. What's the ultimate concern, I guess, at that point for you?
Well, we can't control the weather, unfortunately. I think we would all love, or hoping and wishing and praying to see some rain for that forecast to change. Our understanding, again, is that the province is at a point now where they can contain the direction of the expansion of the fire. I think that's an important and helpful piece of information for people to understand, that for the foreseeable future, it's our understanding that any growth will be in, forested areas only. It won't impact people's homes or communities, at least at this point. So I think we'll have to just hope that that trajectory continues, while we also hope for maybe some relief in this weather.
Mayor Lordon, we're certainly wishing you the best of luck. We'll be checking in with you, no doubt. Thanks for your time tonight.
Thanks so much, Todd.
We'll take a break. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.